I think Facebook is on. I don't know how to do a caption on Facebook though, but this is our Corona conversation with Dr. Mo, and this is right from the front lines, y'all. While I'm waiting for Dr. Mo to walk around here to meet me, first let me just say like thank you to everybody that's on the front lines of this situation. Like all of our medical workers, like they working double and overtime, and not to mention putting themselves at risk, just trying to be a help to take care of the situation. But we right here. That's where we at right now. We right at the front of Hopkins, and like Dr. Mo, who is really a doctor, y'all know that, right? She like literally working, like she's working, but she's stopping her day to come and talk to us and to answer these questions and just have like this real conversation about what this thing is, how you can protect yourself, what are some of the truths, what are some of the lies that are being told, and just like really just give you guys a chance to, you know, really just kind of ask the questions and get answers from a true medical professional. All right. Again, yeah, I apologize if it don't look like I'm looking at you. I'm trying to hold both of the phones up and look through comments and stuff like that on both. I got Facebook in my right hand right now, and I got Instagram on my left hand. But I'm looking forward to a really, really, really good conversation with Dr. Mo. And man, yeah, I need to make sure y'all good. Need to make sure that y'all got good information, because it's a lot of misinformation that's being floated around, and too many people are getting their information from Instagram memes and not able to have access to somebody that can really break it down, help to make sense of it, and you know, really just give you some good information. Look who I see walking over, y'all. Yo, just getting off of work. Technically,
Not
still.
supposed to hug you.
Now she's not supposed to hug me, y'all, because she contaminated. But you know what? I got to give you a hug anyway, because I appreciate you for doing this. Y'all know I love me some Dr. Mo. And like, she didn't have to do this. Come on, Dr. Mo. Let's come over here. You want to bring your bag? Yo, Dr. Mo been working. She been working. All right. So look, so I got Facebook right here, and then we got Instagram right here. Y'all, this is Dr. Mo. So first, before we had this conversation, can you just kind of introduce yourself for people who don't know who you are?
Hi everyone, and hi to my babies that are on there. Ooh, I'm out of breath. Sorry, that's not a Corona cough, which we'll talk about. But I am Dr. Mo. I volunteer with Heart Smiles, my favorite organization, and my favorite woman right here, Joni. But I'm a pediatrician, which means I take care of kids, but I'm also an internist, which means I also take care of adults. So I take care of kids in the clinic. So when you guys have like checkups or you're not feeling well, you go into the doctor. I'm one of the people you might see at Hopkins. And then I also take care of adults who get admitted to the hospital. So if they're sick enough that they really need to be in the hospital for extended period of time, I also take care of those adult patients.
Awesome. So, Dr. Mo, can you kind of give us just like, I guess, broad overview of what this Rona thing is? And guys, if y'all have questions, please post your questions in the comment, because I want for you guys to be able to get your questions answered by Dr. Mo while we got her right here. But just overall, could you give us that broad overview of this whole Rona?
Yeah, so I definitely want you guys to post your questions, and we'll maybe have a time for where I can answer all of those on this, because I'm sure you guys are hearing all sorts of things. You don't know what's true, you don't know what isn't true, and I want to help you out with all of that. But basically, just an overview of what it is. Coronavirus is actually a virus, a family of viruses that has existed for many years. So when you get a common cold, when you guys feel sniffly or you have a cough, you might have a version of the coronavirus. So what's going on right now is a new version that we have never noticed before. Has never been out in the world before. And so since it's not been something that we've seen before as medical professionals, we don't really know how it acts. So we don't know, there are a lot of things that we do know, which we'll talk about tonight, but there are some things we don't know. And so as it's spreading, we're learning more and more about it. but it's not a disease that has been present in the population before. So that is why we're learning, okay, as we're watching and we're like, okay, this is what's happening. We got to prepare this way. We don't know if it's going to do this. We got to prepare this way. But the short of it is it's a virus. You guys have had a cold before. That's what it is. It's just a virus, which, and to clarify, since it's a virus, that means antibiotics does not treat it. Only bacteria antibiotics can only treat bacteria. So viruses are not treated with antibiotics. But that's the biggest, the kind of overview. You guys have probably heard a million things. We can go through that, but let's see what illustrious Miss Joni.
Sounds good. Yeah, no, listen, Dr. Mo is the expert. I ain't even going to pretend to be the expert, which is why I asked her to graciously join us on this session. Because even though, I've been kind of doing my research and all that, I feel like it's always good to get it directly from an expert, from somebody who knows about it when you can. And we are blessed to be able to have her. So let's get into some of these questions, because I see some of these questions. Sorry, y'all, if it's fumbling a little bit. I'm trying to get both of these phones situated right. But let's see. Let's go to Instagram first. All right. Hey, Dr. Mo, what's the risk of me giving blood to the Red Cross?
So I imagine you're asking if you can donate blood and whether that would be risky at a time like this. Somewhere like the Red Cross is probably having the maximum amount of precaution right now. So they're probably using a lot of sanitary conditions. They are hand wiping, they are washing their hands, they're getting that blood with gloves. So as long as they are keeping patients out with symptoms, which we can go through what the symptoms are too, you should be good. A place like Red Cross is probably going to be doing everything the right way. So if that's a good way that you feel like giving back, I say go for it.
Okay. Another question is, should a juvenile diabetic be tested right away?
No. So a diabetic without symptoms, not at all. A diabetic with symptoms, that's another conversation. So let's talk a little bit about the symptoms of coronavirus. The symptoms that we know of, the main symptoms to look out are fever. So temperature of 100.4 or greater. Not like I feel hot, like a temperature from your thermometer. Sorry, it's a little loud. It's 100.4 or greater. That's a fever. So you would have to have a fever and you would have to have respiratory symptoms. And what they mean by respiratory symptoms is cough, trouble breathing, sore throat. So you'd have to have both of those. If you have both of those and you're diabetic, you definitely need to call your doctor. There is a huge shortage of testing right now. So just understand that if someone decides that they don't think you need to be tested, it's not that they don't care about you, they don't want you to get better, they don't have your safety in mind. We just don't have a lot of tests right now. So we really have to prioritize the sickest patients, the ones that we know are really going to get sick, to get those tests. And I will say, in addition to that, kids are not getting super sick with this. So that's another thing to reassure you guys. Kids, healthy kids, you guys are doing great. The kids that we've seen that have gotten it, they have cold symptoms and they get better. Very few have required being in the hospital. They're getting better on their own. They just had to stay in the house. So be assured that kids are doing okay. And you guys are very healthy. So yeah, I'll stop there.
Okay. Next question is, how long has the term coronavirus been known?
So that's a historical question. I don't know how long exactly, but I can tell you, like, when I went to medical school, coronavirus existed. So that was like, at this point, 10 years ago. And it's just a family of viruses. So there's a lot of them. This strand just happens to be one that's new.
How long does it survive on surfaces?
Not long, probably 24 hours, but it is a really good point. So you know how everyone's probably telling you, like, you need to wash your hands all the time. Like, wash your hands. Don't, if you're gonna cough or sneeze, you need to cough or sneeze into your elbow. That's what we mean by into your elbow. If you're gonna use a tissue to cough or sneeze into, you need to throw it away. But that's a really good question because people aren't mindful of the surfaces that they're touching. So if you touch a surface that someone coughed or sneezed on because they weren't being as mindful as you might be being, then you could expose yourself potentially. So just being mindful of where you put your hands.
Okay, let's get a couple of questions from Facebook. What about dialysis and transplant patients?
Yeah, so dialysis and transplant patients are definitely at higher risk. And the main reason for that is transplant patients probably take medicine that makes their immune system kind of low. Your immune system is the part of your body that fights infection. And so if that's kind of lower, which transplant patients tend to have, they could get sicker with the virus. I don't know if the person who asked that question is maybe referring to an adult in their life, but really what I hope you guys take away from this is it's our parents, our grandparents who are really suffering from this. So a lot of what we can do is being our best selves to keep our loved ones safe. So keeping your grandparents and your parents safe.
He said adult.
Yeah. So yes, they are certainly at higher risk.
Okay. Where can people get tested for coronavirus?
So people can't just get tested for coronavirus just to know, or because maybe you're worried just in general. But if you have symptoms, like if you have fever, and like I said, a cough or shortness of breath, then you need to call your doctor immediately. They will tell you what to do and tell you whether you need testing or not. Testing is occurring at Johns Hopkins Hospital, but it needs to happen through your doctor. So your doctor needs to say, I'm referring this patient over to get tested. It's not something you can just walk up to and get tested.
How many strands is inside the coronavirus, and what kind of strands? And also, can the coronavirus get stuck to your clothes and jackets?
Some hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. Look, I'm thankful for these
Mark.
questions. Yeah.
Trying to show me that? I do not know how many strands they are. What I can promise you is I will look up when it came about, so the year for you guys and the number of strands, and I will let you guys know at Thriving Thursdays. But I don't know the answer to that. Yes, if you sneeze, if you like sneeze on your jacket, or you sneeze, or someone gets their kind of respiratory symptoms on your clothes, the same way it can stay on a surface for some time, it can stay on your clothes for some time.
Hey, yo, and for my people on Facebook, man, shout out to my man, Will. He dropping mad links. He's a director at the health department. So he's definitely a reliable and credible source for information. So if y'all see a link that William is dropping, screenshot it or tag it or do whatever you can and check those links out, because my man Will has been on it, and he's been posting some really good stuff too to help us all be safe. Shantae said April will be a year since I got my transplant.
Hey, what's her name?
Shantae.
Shantae,
said
if you
April
want
is
to message me offline or message Miss Joni and get my contact information, maybe you and I could talk a little more one-on-one.
Yeah, so y'all see that? That's what I'm talking about. People that's not just talking about it, but people that's actually willing to be in the community and help people understand. So Shantae, just message me and I'll connect you directly to Dr. Mo, and she can help you make sense of your issues. D. Morgan said, for adults, what age does it start?
So we're getting, the adults that we worry the most about are people who are age 65 and older.
Okay. All right. Cam said, what's the worst physical symptoms is coronavirus? How bad can it get due to coronavirus?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the worst symptoms that you can have is really related to the infection itself. So the infection, and these are worst case scenarios, and this is not happening to kids very often, but if the virus gets throughout your whole body, it can affect your organs. And if your breathing can get really bad to the point where you're not able to breathe on your own. And in that case, I don't know if you guys have ever seen on medical shows or something like that, where they put a tube down and kind of hook you up to a machine to help you breathe. That would be the worst case scenario. And yes, some people are dying from this. Kids are way less likely. But yes, that would be, death is the worst case scenario.
Okay, Facebook question. What about people with high blood pressure?
People with high blood pressure are not necessarily at any increased risk.
Okay. What is the impact of changes in the weather?
It's a great question. So you probably are hearing maybe some messaging about, well, maybe when it gets warm, like the virus will kind of find its way out. And to be honest, like I said in the beginning, because this is a new virus, scientists and doctors are just starting to learn more about it. So it's a good question because, for example, the flu is more common in cold weather, right? Like you guys hear about the flu during winter. So I think there's some high hopes that maybe coronavirus will be similar. So maybe as it gets warmer, that'll help push the virus out of our cities and our spaces, but we don't know the answer to that yet.
Shantae said, can it put you into rejection?
Oh, you're talking about for your transplant.
Yeah.
The short answer is yes, but that's a much more complex answer, and we can definitely talk about that a little bit more when we talk one-on-one.
All right. So keep your questions coming. So while we don't have a question, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
These masks. I've been seeing everybody with these masks on. How valuable is that? Like, I don't want to, diminish anybody's fear or to, take any value away from what people think that they're doing to keep themselves safe. But is that really helping us at all?
We are not recommending that people wear masks as a precaution, and it is it's kind of complex why we're saying that. So one is that we don't have a lot of masks. So our country is running out of equipment. I can give you an example. My sister is a doctor, and she gets exposed to patients who might have the disease, and she doesn't even have enough masks in her clinic for her to wear as a healthcare person. So you can imagine that we're kind of trying to be very careful about who's using masks. If you do have symptoms, absolutely. If you have fever, if you have cough, trouble breathing, I don't mean like a little like you guys do like sometimes at nighttime. I mean like you're feeling like you got something coming on, you got a cold, then you should find a mask. Other than that, not necessary.
Now, I also heard with the mask, once you cough, then the mask is no longer effective. Like if you cough or sneeze, is that a myth or is that fact?
That's a myth. It's okay if you cough or sneeze into the mask, that's why it's there. But the second that you touch that mask, it's no longer good to keep using.
What you mean? Touch it like?
Yeah, so we're all very used to touching our faces. Like let's say you sneeze into it, you could have touched anything in that time period that you had the mask on, and if you touch the mask again, it's what we would consider contaminated.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I got a question from Facebook over here. Can the Kidney Health assist with any needs?
Is that an organization?
I don't know. Shantae, clear that up for us. Is that an organization, or you mean just like having good kidney health? I don't know. What are the chances that this mutates?
The chance that it mutates, I think, are low. But like I said, we don't know a lot about this particular strain.
Ma, I see you put some marks up saying that was your question. Let me know if I answered all your questions. If not, could you put it in again? Because I'm trying to navigate between both Instagram and Facebook. We're getting a lot of engagement, which is great, and I appreciate it. Keep those questions coming. All right. So while we don't have a question right now, can I ask another question? Well, let me get Keith's question, then I'm gonna ask you a question. All right. All right. Keith said, people with asthma, are they at high risk?
It's a great question. So we're finding that kids who have asthma that is not very bad asthma. So when I say really bad asthma, I mean asthma that is leading to you being in an ICU, asthma where you've had to have that tube put down and had to be on a ventilator to help you breathe. That type of really bad asthma, if that's something that you experience, not something you just experienced when you were a baby, but something that you've experienced in the past year or so, then yes. That it would just mean that your body might not be able to handle the virus as well.
Okay. Everybody has been clearing out the grocery stores, Walmart. You can't get nothing. Mm-hmm. Dr. Mo, be real with us. Is this necessary?
Yes and no.
Okay. Okay.
There are some talks that maybe our city could be on a shutdown, or our state itself could be on a shutdown. I mean, there's talks all over the country about this, and as you guys may see on the news, that some places are already doing that. As you know, even though they've closed restaurants and bars for any in-person experience, grocery stores are still open right now. That could change. And if that does change abruptly, you can only imagine that the stores are going to be hit really hard right before that change. So my recommendation to you all is to put yourself in a position where if you had to be stuck at home, you would be good for like a week. And I know that that's asking a lot, and I know that that might not be something that all of you can do right away, but maybe you've seen Miss Joni's post from earlier this week, but I'm taking the lead on that. So you contact me directly, and we will find a way to get you the food that you need, get you any basic things that you need. That means soap. So we're telling you all you need to wash your hands. Like, you don't have soap in the house, let us know. Like, we want to do everything to make you guys have everything that you need.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mo. Elder said, is it safe to go outside, like go to the park?
Yes, it is definitely safe to go outside. And in fact, I encourage you guys to kind of don't coop yourself up too much in the house. I know everyone's telling you to be careful, stay away from people, but the park usually is a place, depending on what hour it is, that might not be super populated. Go for a walk, get some fresh air. What we're asking is that if you're gonna hang out in groups, they're not big groups. So we're saying 10 or less for sure. And then even when you hang out in groups, keep it to a minimum. So maybe your friend has a birthday and you really don't wanna miss out on being with them for that. Like, that might be an extenuating circumstance. Not every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with your friends. And then if you are gonna be around people, me and Miss Joni are pretty close. Like, technically, we should be about 6 feet apart.
We breaking a rule. Don't break the rule, y'all. Kurt said, what's the best way for us to help?
Okay, so that's a great question. There are a few things. I think the best way that you can help is actually taking care of yourself. So all these things that we're talking about to help you avoid getting the virus is actually also helping other people. So the best thing that you can do, wash your hands frequently. If you don't have soap, you can use hand sanitizer. You do want to wash, not just like a quick put your hands under the water, like 20 seconds long. Being careful about how you sneeze and cough, so doing that in your elbow, like I said. Really being mindful about what germs you have and how you could spread it, because honestly, the best thing that kids can do who are healthy is help their loved ones, their older loved ones, not get it.
Sanitra says, my son has diabetes type 1. I'm just keeping him in, correct?
No, not necessarily. I would hate for him to be cooped up because, we don't know how long this is going to last. I think maybe being mindful about the spaces that he goes to. So thinking about where there might be crowds and definitely not taking him to those places. But I would really encourage encourage you to take him to places that might be less crowded, just also for his mental health.
Mars said, this ain't a coronavirus question, but if they close supermarkets and grocery stores are running out of toilet paper and food, is it like Maryland Food Bank or other stores that provide food?
Yeah, so there are actually a lot of resources in Maryland for you guys to access food and toiletries, and maybe after this I can send Joni, I think we've sent some things around, but maybe we can put another list together and send out to all of you or post on Instagram so you can like click on it and look. Even our clinic, some of you go to Harriet Lane Clinic where I work. We are getting a food delivery on Friday, and all you have to say is that you need food. There's no other, we're not checking into anything. It's just you need food, we'll get it for you. The other thing, sorry, real quick, is that different neighborhoods have different supplies, and it's a shame, right? Like, certain neighborhoods are being taken care of more than others, but it is not, just because your neighborhood store doesn't have it does not mean it doesn't exist in Baltimore. So reach out to us if there's something that you need, because we might be able to get it for you.
Y'all heard that, right? Dr. Mo said, reach out to us if it's something that you need, because we might be able to get it for you. And again, just to reiterate, she's taking lead on making sure that everybody has at least their basic needs met. So if it's something that you need, definitely be sure to hit us up. All right. So we talked about them people wiping out the grocery stores. We talked about the masks. We covered that. So if somebody is in a household, right, with somebody who is at high risk, what like extra precautions should they do? And I mean high risk on both ends. One meaning maybe you may be with an older person that's in that age range, or two, you maybe live with a health professional like yourself who might be in and out of hospitals and exposed. What are some things that those folks should be worried about or concerned about?
Yeah, I would say the best thing you can do is frequently clean surfaces. So your tables, your kitchen counters, even the handles on your fridge, because someone might have like sneezed and not really realize where the particles went, grab the fridge. So just being really mindful of surfaces that both of you touch or anyone in the house touches, and cleaning them. So that's another thing. If you don't have cleaning supplies, let us know. That's a basic necessity right now. So I think that's first and foremost what you can do. If you guys do start having symptoms, or your loved one who's an older person starts having symptoms, you definitely need to call your doctor. And I know this might not be possible for everyone, but as much as you two can separate, if there's a friend you can go stay with, if there's another family member, if one person starts having symptoms, the safest thing you can do is not be in the same house as them, if at all possible, understanding that might not always be the case.
All right, send y'all questions. This is good stuff, man. I'm actually learning a lot, and I appreciate you, Dr. Mo, for even doing this. Hey, and if y'all didn't catch what she just did, she just added cleaning stuff into basic needs. Like, I'm just finding out that bleach is a basic need, but I guess that it is. And you know what? If Dr. Mo say that that's what we doing, then that's what we doing. So if you feel like you need cleaning supplies, let us know. We're going to make sure that you get cleaning supplies. Hey, this is my girl, Tiff. Hey, Dr. Mo. So this is also allergy season. How do we as civilians separate the two symptoms?
So let me tell you something, Tiff. Doctors are having trouble with that right now, too. Because you are so right. Like, everyone you walk by is coughing, sniffling. Their allergies are acting up. My allergies are acting up. I think that just keep in mind that what we are considering concerning is having a fever and symptoms like cough and shortness of breath. Also, for those of you who have allergies, hopefully you kind of remember what that feels like. Like, it's a little sniff, it's a little cough. Like, you shouldn't also be having body aches. You shouldn't also be having like not really feel like eating. You shouldn't be having some of these things that you can get when you have like the flu. So really keep in mind, like, kind of check yourself, like, hey, like, am I having anything else right now, or is it just kind of some of this stuff up here?
Yeah, Tiff said she going through it over there. Oh man, feel better, Tiff, feel better. Mars said Donald Trump referred to this virus as the Chinese virus. If the coronavirus has been out, how come China was the first to have coronavirus? Is it because of the animals they eat? Powerful question. Great question.
So China just happens to be the first place that it was found. That does not necessarily mean that it came from China. As you guys probably learned about the Spanish influenza in school. That actually didn't start in Spain. So a lot of times things are named based on where we happen to find it first. It doesn't necessarily mean that's where it started. And to that point, Mar, thank you for bringing that up, because somebody asked, what can we do to help? This virus doesn't discriminate, so you all should do your best not to discriminate. You know, I know a lot of my babies on here love their Chinese spots in their neighborhood. They're probably struggling right now with having to shut down, like, and only do carry out. Like, break that myth. This is not a Chinese disease.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that question, Ma. That's a great question. Yeah, y'all bringing us some great questions. Y'all continue to ask your questions. I got Dr. Mo jammed up for at least a few more minutes, and then we're going to have to let her go and get back to serving the public. But I do appreciate you taking the time out your day to like have this important conversation with us, because it is a very, very important conversation. Can you speak to the idea that fear weakens your immune system? Like, people don't believe me when I say that, but I'm like, yo, you can make yourself sick by thinking that you're sick, or just by having the fear that you're sick without even actually really being sick. Am I crazy?
You're not. mental health is so important, and in a time like this, no one is helping keep your mental health high, right? Like, we're like, don't go anywhere, like, don't touch anybody, like, there's no food, there's no toilet paper, you can't even take care of your basic needs. So we are in a time where our mental health is being tried. But Ms. Joni, you're 100% correct. Your mental health and your physical health are integrally involved with each other. And you know, I watch my own dad. He gets really down, and his health just goes down the drain. And I see it in my patients all the time. Your mental health really matters. So fear, you know, it can be. I get it. This is uncharted territory in some ways, right? But trust and believe that your doctors and the scientists around the country are working day and night to do the best we can to keep you all safe.
So y'all heard that. Dr. Mo just said I'm not crazy. I'm verified by a doctor.
I said you weren't crazy about that one thing.
Okay, about that one thing.
But.
So as much as you can, and Dr. Mo, tell me if I misspeak at all, but as much as you can, try to still keep your regular routines.
Yes.
Try to still keep yourself active, and try to still do things that you need to do to keep yourself full of life. I know for me, one thing that really kind of made me upset was when they ordered to shut down the gyms, and I had just spoke to my people at the gym and said, are y'all gonna shut down? And they like, no. Next day they shut down. But you know what, I still had to make an effort to get out, because being physically healthy and just being able to get out and do exercise in the morning, like that's kind of like my woosah time. So don't stop your woosah time. Be safe about it, but figure out what's going to work for you, because fear is not going to do anything but make it worse. So thank you, Dr. Mo, for clearing that up.
And I just saw a question on there to that point about how to stay active with everything being closed. Do stuff outside. Some of you know Mr. Lou. Me and Mr. Lou did a little workout together outside after work. I kind of hated it, but like brought my energy up. I felt more active. So know that, I mean, at least it's not freezing out. Like, you can do whatever you would have done in the gym. Try to find a way to do it in your neighborhood, or you know, come near Hopkins if you want. Hit me up. I'm trying to work out.
Yeah, you know what? We might even have to start a little workout thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that this morning, because Montebello is big enough. Yeah, you know what? We might do that. Look for that to be posted. Sorry, Facebook people. I post mostly all the stuff on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, follow us on Instagram, Heart Smiles MD. Check the stories. And we're going to do it. We're going to put together some type of fitness group. We're going to do something that's safe and that's healthy, and that gets people who want to get out a chance to be able to get out and do something healthy. So we're going to figure that out. We building it as we fly, y'all. We building it as we fly. My man Will said, great response on the discrimination. This morning, Trump continued to call it the Chinese virus. Much agreed that this virus should not represent an ethnicity. Yes. Thank you, Will. I got a question right here from Sharon 310. Hi, Dr. Mo. Idris Elba reported that he tested positive for the virus despite
Being asymptomatic.
yeah, look, y'all know I can't read them big words. Being who?
Despite not having symptoms, so probably without a fever, cough, cold symptoms, that kind of thing.
Is that common?
It's not as common to not have symptoms at all. I imagine he's having symptoms now. But it is true that the incubation period, which basically means the time from when it might get into your body to when you might actually show that it's bothering you, like with fever or cough or trouble breathing, that can be anywhere from 2 to 8 days. So it is possible that people that you are around that look fine could be sick a few days later, and they could have had it at the time that they saw you. So yes, it's possible, but we can't all like stay away from each other forever and not lead active lives. So we gotta be safe, but within reason.
Hey, Dr. Mo, this is Naya. Can kids get the coronavirus? And y'all, Naya, that's my baby. She gonna kill me if I get her age wrong, but I think she 9. If she 10, y'all gonna see I put 10 in there. But I think she 9. She said, can kids get the coronavirus?
Yes, ma'am, they can. But as I was saying before, we're not finding that kids are getting very sick with it. So kids are having things like Naya, what you get when you have a cold or something, like having symptoms like that, like a cough or stuffy nose or things like that. That's usually what kids are dealing with when they get it.
Just said, get me out this house. Yo, we gonna have to do something.
Yeah,
you know what? We probably gonna start the mall and see who bluffing and see who ain't bluffing. Montebello. All right.
Team Montebello.
Mars said, I know schools are closed for 2 weeks, and yes, we have packets, but if schools are closed for the remainder of the school year, can we have a productive workspace for us who want to learn more? Can I take that one?
Yes, you can.
All right. So, Ma, we have already started to think about that. The first initiative that we're launching is going to start this upcoming Monday. And I know it's technically supposed to be our spring break, but we're going to start it anyway. It's called Success Sessions. Y'all know I love a good name. Success Sessions. And what those sessions are going to be geared towards people like you who want to still remain productive and who want to be able to have like some type of structured space to still be engaged and to still get work done. So right now, to start, we're going to start with the vulnerable hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. So between 10 and 3, you're going to have myself, including Dr. Mo and some of the other Heart Smiles mentors. We're going to be taking turns doing 60-minute sessions all online to actively engage you guys. And I hope Miss Nanette is still on here, but shout out to Miss Nanette because we were able to also get more laptops for you guys. So as we start working with people and we see that you may need laptops or you may need technology, we're going to do our best to make sure that we help get you set up with technology so that you can do some of the work that you are assigned to do. But our goal is to try to do as much as we can, like on this platform right here. Like how right now you watching us on live, you're actually being productive. You are actually positively engaging your mind. Even though we're not talking about school stuff, we're talking about life stuff, which is probably even more important than what, some of us unfortunately are learning in the classrooms anyway. But if they do decide to shut schools down for the remainder of the year, you can fully expect for Heart Smiles and the team to step up, and we'll be able to do something. We've even talked about the idea of having people rotate like 3 or 4 at a time in a learning space where we will have laptops, projectors, and things like that. So we'll work out something for sure, but as of right now, we know that we are going to make ourselves accessible online for you guys to be able to actively engage. And I don't know if Caitlin is on, but shout out to Miss Caitlin because she said, Miss Joni, I just want to tutor people. Y'all got those thick packets that y'all got to work through, and a lot of people aren't going to be able to get through that stuff without some type of instruction. So when y'all see me post that Miss Caitlin is going to be on, and I believe she's going to do 60 minutes every single day, like Monday through Friday, just dedicated to helping kids get through those packets. So like, that's a big deal. But great question, Ma. Anything to add on to that, Dr. Mo?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like being productive, and we talked a little bit about fear before, be really careful about the media that you're consuming. Don't watch the news too much. Keep yourself informed, but social media is full of nonsense. So there's a lot of things that are on there that are gonna ramp up your stress. So also don't sit around with questions. Come to us, ask us, is this true? Don't sit around with fears. We're here for you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. We got questions on both Facebook and Instagram. Let's go to Facebook first. What is the test like?
The test is basically a swab, which basically is like a Q-tip thing that they do in your nose. And that's about it.
Okay. What are some of the symptoms?
So fever, cough, trouble breathing, sore throat.
I told y'all Naya was going to correct me, y'all. She not 9, she 10. That baby's smart. I love you, Naya. Naya also said, so why do we have to miss school?
So the reason why they've canceled school is because you can imagine at school, a lot of you guys are together around other kids, around teachers. They're usually big groups of people. So whenever there's a big group and you can be in close contact with someone, it's an easy way for the disease, that virus, to jump from person to person. So it's to keep you all safe.
Mr. Kirk said he would be more than happy to help with technology. Awesome, Mr. Kirk. Yeah, if anybody has any, new or like new laptops, I'm fully accepting them. Just let me know where we gotta pick them up from. Yeah, appreciate that. Let's see. I feel like this virus is more serious than I thought. Could you speak on that just a little bit? Because I know I'm guilty of that too. Like when things first came out, I'm like, what? No, absolutely not. Like, no, we're going to make sure that we still up and running. We're going to make sure that kids still get our help. But then now it's like, I gotta do something different.
I think we're all guilty of that. So I think we're facing something that most of us have never had to encounter before. So I think we're all guilty of that. I think I'm guilty of that. I think if you had asked me like a week and a half ago, I would have said I'm doing all the same things I normally do. I was going to my workouts every day. People were like, aren't you going to stop? I was like, nope, I'm going to go to them. So I think we're all guilty of that. But yes, it is serious. But also know that some of the precautions and some of the things that are being asked of you guys to do, or asked of all of us to do as far as keeping safe, is being proactive. So that means doing something before something bad happens. So you could have something bad that happens and then you can react to it. You can say, like, something really bad can happen, you like, oh, I wish I would have done this. And so being proactive means avoiding that bad thing happening. So just keep in mind that while some of these things that people are asking, and closing down bars, closing down restaurants, all of that might seem like a lot, it's so that we don't get to that really bad thing. We don't get to maybe where you're seeing in the news that China and Italy are at.
Yo, Tiff said, my throat is a bit scratchy. Should I go in for a test? Now that's serious.
No. Tiff, have you had fevers at all?
Alright. Yo, we gotta take care of Tiff, y'all. Tiff, man, let us know, Tiff. You got fevers. Mars said, and since the coronavirus is very effective, can we have some type of medical class for those who would love to learn about this and how we can help go through things like this in the future?
Absolutely.
Med class with Dr. Mo.
Yeah, reach out to me and we can find a time to do it.
Bet. Tiffany said no.
Okay, that's good. So we would only be concerned if you had a fever and those symptoms.
Good. And that's good to know. That's good to know, because I heard on the news too that they were saying that it's a shortage of tests and people who don't need it are taking up tests. That people who really do need it could be using it. It's truth in that.
Yeah, and I think that goes to kind of, a few of you have asked, what can we do to help? And we talked about keeping yourself safe and keeping those around you safe. Another one is not spreading the fear. So not spreading panic and being careful. When you feel something, absolutely call your doctor or contact me. I'm happy to talk to you guys at any point, but don't start down that train like I have corona, I gotta go get a test. Like, talk to someone who has knowledge.
Yeah. Tiff said my eyes are a bit dry though.
Is this the same Tiff that has allergies?
Yeah, she got allergies.
Those sound like allergy symptoms to me, sis.
Sis got allergy. So that means if we posted the night that we gonna be at Montebello in the morning, that means she could be there, right? And she ain't gonna give us the Rona.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep, she said she thinking that is allergies. Yeah, baby girl, you got allergies. All right, my man Kirk said, how do we keep our spirits up given how fluid the situation is?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think Miss Joni said the most important thing, to kind of stay busy as best you can, like keep your structure. So tap into the sessions with Miss Joni. Still call your friends, like do what we're doing, but with your friends, like keep each other's spirits up. Talk to your family members, people that you say you never keep in touch with and you wish you checked in with them more. Now's the time when we can't really be out doing the things that keep us from doing those things usually. I know a lot of you guys like to play certain games with each other, like, I don't know what it is. I've played some sort of word game with you guys before when I've been in my house and you've been in yours. I don't know. Do that stuff. Stay connected that way. I think being busy and keeping structured time is a good way.
Absolutely. Yeah, and man, y'all already know how I feel about it. Now is the time, now more than ever, to do those things that you've been procrastinating about. If I had a penny for every single person that told me that they wanted to start a business or that they wanted to do something different, like, I would be hands down rich. Now is that time to really test that out. And if more than anything, your discipline is going to come into place. Because we are going to put some structure in place. We're going to have some things for people who want to stay engaged, for people who want to stay productive. But a bulk of that time, a lot of that time is going to be up to you on how you choose to handle it, on what you choose to do. So if you choose to do something that's non-productive, if you choose to just lay around, then don't be complaining when Rona has passed us and you still stuck in the same spot. By the time Rona is over, we should see at least a dozen or so more online businesses launched. We should see a dozen or so more, at least, business plans started for people that want to do that stuff. And my seniors, class of 2020, y'all, I feel bad for y'all. Especially given that a lot of schools are already saying that they may have to cancel or postpone things like prom and graduation and all that stuff. But hey, start working on your next move. If your next move is college, all your applications should be done and sent out. Like, there are plenty things that you can do. And like Dr. Mo keeps stressing and reiterating, hit us up if you get stuck. Like, that's what we here for. Like, hit us up. We will help you, right? I'm not saying be a workaholic like me and work all day, every second of your day. But if you know for the bulk of your time you are used to being productive between 8 and 3, still find a way to be productive between 8 and 3. It's just going to look a little different, that's all.
I think the other thing too, and everyone's different in what makes them feel better or what makes them feel grateful. But there's some pretty bad stuff going on in other countries right now who have not handled it maybe the same way, or found out about it too late, or things like that. So while this is a scary time, we are really lucky in a lot of ways, and I know that can be hard to feel or to see, but just know that.
Ma says some of us gotta catch the MTA bus, and the MTA have more germs than anything. It's dirty, it's nasty, it smells bad, and it feels like we can catch the coronavirus on the MTA. Do we need to bring hand sanitizer for riding the bus?
Yes, absolutely. Hit me up if you don't have any.
Y'all heard it right here. What if I'm outside playing? How can we protect ourselves?
So I think it depends on what you're doing. So for example, if maybe you're playing basketball, like bring something to wipe, like a Lysol wipe or something to wipe that basketball down before you play with it. And make sure whoever you're playing with has washed their hands or has used hand sanitizer before you guys do something like that. The other thing is just don't be in big crowds. So it's okay to be outside. It's okay to live your life somewhat normally, but just don't be in big crowds.
Elder said, is it even safe to take the bus?
Yeah, I think you have to take precautions. So I think bringing hand sanitizer, I think being mindful of where you put your hands. So you guys are going to hopefully start thinking about where your hands are going more than you ever have before. The other thing is if someone starts coughing to you on the bus, you better go to the other side of that bus. Mm-hmm. Get off the next stop.
And you know what? Before this whole corona thing, I've been not touching gas pumps. I keep a pair of gloves in my car. People used to laugh at me. Nobody laughing at me now. I mean, I'm talking about years, years. I always keep a pair of gloves. I never touch the gas pump. And people, all my friends, everybody used to laugh me out. Yeah, I get out the car and pump the gas. Hand me my gloves. Not no more. Not more. I was right all along, wasn't I? No,
See,
but
I told you she was only not crazy
about certain things. Now you say, do you think it's going to get to a point where we can't go outside and we have to stay in the house?
It is possible. I don't know when or if or when that will happen, but it is very possible. There are other cities that are doing that. So when Miss Joni put out that post about needing basic things or food, she doesn't mean just for today. She means something that will last you for a week or two. Making sure we help you stretch your dollar and help you get all the things that you need in case that were to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, we about to get ready to wrap up our conversation with Dr. Mo. This has been a great conversation. Y'all came with some really great, amazing answers. I'm going to say this again for my Facebook people. Y'all see Mr. William Kellerbrew right there dropping all those links. Please, please, please make sure that you save those links or make sure that you screenshot them or do something. He's a director at the Baltimore City Health Department. So definitely a reliable source, and he's a good guy. So even if you wanted to message him directly, I'm pretty sure that he'd be more than happy to answer any questions, especially in terms of what the city's health department is doing about this. But thank you so much, Will, for dropping all those helpful links. I'm gonna make sure that I save that live so that we can archive those links. If anybody on Instagram, if you wanted to do some extra research and you wanted to get some of these links that Mr. Will is dropping, go to my Facebook. My Facebook is just Joni Heart Smiles Hollifield, and you'll be able to see the links. I'm gonna share that. I'm gonna take a few more questions because I see a few more popping up on Instagram, and then we're gonna let Dr. Mo go.
I want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
So, I know this isn't necessarily medically related, but be mindful that evictions cannot happen right now and your utilities cannot be shut off. Those are orders. They are legal orders. So that cannot happen. So I know it might be scary. Some of you are not maybe making the same income that you were making the same amount of money. Those things cannot happen. They're illegal. So if for some reason something like that pops up, you need to let one of us know immediately.
Oh, so Ms. Trina said, is it safe to order through Uber Eats?
That depends on how the person is handling the food, which is, I guess, a personal choice. I can't live my life with all these restrictions, so I ordered on Uber Eats the other day. But it is a personal choice. Because if that person who makes your food doesn't take the precautions we're telling you to, then yeah.
Okay. Any final words, Dr. Mo?
I think that just stay safe, take these precautions seriously, because I promise you they will help you and they will help your loved ones. But keep your spirits up. We are all here for you. We're all really lucky to have each other. We mean it when we say you let us know if you need anything at all, and you let us know if you feel stuck and down and you don't know what to do with your day. Please don't sit at home and be down and not let us know, because we will get in your butt about that when we find out. So just let us know. We love you. And my Instagram is @momo_jindal. But you guys can ask me any questions. Things will pop up after this. You might think of something. Everything's a go. Just ask me.
Absolutely. And Mars said it's products like hand sanitizer and Lysol wipes, the stuff you can provide us with. I'm going to say yes, right? Because that's what you said? Yeah, absolutely. And y'all see what Mr. Will put on Facebook, y'all, like I said, director of the City Health Department, he said yes. And let me know as well about any cutoffs or evictions. He's telling y'all to let him know if people doing y'all wrong, if they breaking the law during this time of crisis. And that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Having city officials who really go above and beyond to help the community. Because so many city officials, they only sit behind their desks, and as long as it don't harm their family, they not worried about it. But y'all, Will ain't like that, y'all. He's a real one. And y'all know I only roll with real ones. So I appreciate him even being on this live the entire time, dropping knowledge, dropping links, and even offering to extend his own hand to help during this difficult time. That's a big deal, y'all. How many directors will step in and say, hey, let me know about cutoffs and evictions?
Awesome.
Right?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now you say, oh my God, I didn't know she was a real doctor. That's cool. Yeah. Yo, what you thought I was going to bring a fake on here? Man, listen, if I wasn't going to bring a real doctor, I would have just did it myself and just fumbled through the conversation oh, let me Google that for y'all. No, man, we got quality. She went to med school and all that. She got the letters behind her name.
Why do you guys think you all call me Dr. Mo?
Yeah, right? Come on, man. No, this is Dr. Mo. So look, we about to let y'all go. My parting words is that watch how people are acting amidst this chaos, y'all. I had a conversation with my mom a little bit before doing this live, and we were just talking. Situations like this can bring out either the best of people or the worst of people, and unfortunately we're seeing a little bit of both. But it's on us to make sure that we don't allow this situation to bring out the worst in us, that we do allow it to bring out the best in us. It should be bringing out your creativity. It should be bringing out your hard work. It should be bringing out your care and compassion for other people. It should be bringing out the very, 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 very best of you. And I know that it's hard to see right now the blessings and the lessons and the learnings that we're going to get from this, but trust me, they are there. They are there. And don't ever allow even yourself or anybody else to talk you into fear or to talk you into having a hold on your mind, man, because when you get stuck in your mind, it's hard to get out. It's hard to get out, so don't even go there. Like Dr. Mo said, and I'm telling you guys, we are here for you. Y'all know traditionally we only really care about the babies, but I guess in this situation we care about the adults now too. so if y'all need help too, yeah, the 25 and older crew, I guess we opening it up. Y'all let us know, because this is truly the time to take care of each other and, you know, to really just have each other's back. Will said we need a show. Hey, yo, you crazy.
The other thing, just you guys are beautiful people, and you know, I've watched you help each other through really hard times, and you know, there are certain people that are going to be struggling more during this than others.
Yes.
Certain people who have less money than others, less access to things, and think about those people. If you're able to give back at all, you know, do that. That might be a way to keep your mood up too.
Yeah, absolutely. I just got the critical message that Instagram about to cut us off. You know they got a time limit on that.
They
now.
do?
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. They got a time limit. But yeah, that's it for us, y'all. Miss England said, can you share with agencies or organizations that cannot turn people things off? Yes. So, Mr. Kirk, can you put Miss England in touch with Mr. Will? That link that Will shared, because that answers her question. And I know Kirk is on both, y'all. He like a super Heartbeat fan, y'all. He on the Instagram Live, he on the Facebook Live, he in my text messages. Yo, that's my man, yo. He gets it done. Super volunteer, man. We're going to get a volunteer award, volunteer of the year. All right, y'all, but that's it for us, man. I guess I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, because we got to do Thursday online too, right? So Thursday online tomorrow. I'll see y'all. Make sure y'all share this live with people who you think might find it helpful. All
Love
right.
you guys.
Love y'all. Bye-bye. All right, let's end Instagram first.